Hey guys, it's Rafi, and I'm playing a game today. It is a 10 plus 5 game, and yeah, got an interesting position here where he's developed his queen side. I believe this is called the Queen's Indian, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it has other names as well. I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm just thinking if I want to play h6 or not in this position. I think I kind of like the idea of h6 here. Just preserving this bishop to bring it back, and yeah. Bishop d3 here is interesting now, by the way. Very interesting move, because if I take, he takes back, he'll have a lot of really good central squares to go after. So let's maintain our opening principles, and let's go ahead and play e6 here to defend our pawn. I'm expecting d4 at some point very soon. He chooses to capture. Interesting. I guess I will take back this. Yeah. Let's maintain opening principles, unless we have a good reason not to. I'll play c6, bishop somewhere over here, castle, and hopefully we'll have a very equal position. So he chooses to go with d3. Perhaps he wants to play e4 at some point soon. This does allow us to quickly get in this check with the bishop and put it on a good square. Likely knight b2, d2 will happen. Yep. I would imagine castling is probably okay now. So he develops the other guy, the bishop. All natural, normal stuff here. So far, nothing out of the ordinary has taken place. I have to now figure out how do I want to develop my pieces here on this side of the board. I think that I want to start with maybe c6 first, knight b to d7. Now I have queen a5 as an idea as well. A decent square for the queen. Queen e7 is always in the possibilities as well. So if he does that, then I guess I can just bring it back this way. And put it right here. I do always have to be careful about this kind of tactics where he forks the two pieces. So that's why let's go ahead and put our rook to a good open file as soon as possible. Let's put the rook here. So knight b to d7, rook c8, bishop b8, queen c7 or queen d6, followed by checkmating idea is definitely one idea in the position. So now I think I'll do here. So he really wants to push this through. So if he pushes now, he takes, I take, push, takes. Push, take. Bishop moves e5. So he takes, I take, then e4. There's some tactical stuff here in the position. This idea of playing e4 is definitely something to consider here. So I have an interesting idea I want to try for. I want to play bishop g4 here. And make this knight feel awkward. If I can provoke moves like h3, that's good for me. He's just giving me stuff to anchor and come attack later. I'll just drop back this way, then drop back this way, and go to h7 if needed. Otherwise, I plan to just bring the rook to the c file, bring the bishop back here, because the bishop will be very well placed on b8. And then just put my queen on c7 and checkmate him. That's the goal. He goes for e5 now. Could he play this move? I take. He takes, I take. He takes, I take. He can't take anymore. He can start with this move first. I take, then e5. I take, he takes, I take. If he takes here, then I'll take with the knight, I guess. It'll leave this pawn really weak. There's always g4, bishop g6, then e5. Yep, there's definitely some threats here. Absolutely no doubt about that. Definitely have some chances of getting my pieces forked here if I'm not careful with this. So I don't want to allow this pawn to come to a greater square and free up this bishop, honestly. So how do I approach it? Let's try to put this bishop right here. Interesting square for the bishop. If he ever plays a move like g3, that's great. We'll drop the bishop all the way back. And we will have provoked more weaknesses. I love when they play moves like g3 and h3. Just gives a lot of weaknesses and things for us to attack later. Yeah, so if he ever takes here, always I can take with the knight. If he ever pushes here, I do believe that there's just he doesn't have enough to push through yet. Because I can just take it. After takes, rook takes, possibly, I think. Push. No, that's not working. Hold on. Knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes. Knight can't take because the queen hangs. You can throw in g4 first, though. But in that case, if he throws in g4, then I can always take here first, and then... Okay, ooh. Okay. So that's got to be one of those moves that's just weakening permanently his king side. That got to be. So I need to just be calm and show him that you can't just move your pieces like that, man. You can't just be pushing these pawns in front of your king like that. I'm tempted to. I'm just calculating the sacrifice here if it makes any sense to do that. But I don't think so. I feel like he has enough to hold things together here. And my queen, if my queen and bishop were already lined up to give checkmate or something, I would consider it. But here, I just think he has enough to continue. That's very aggressive play right there, for sure. So now if I take, he can take, I take, he takes, and I'm losing a piece. So can't take it. So that means I need to be able to move my knight somewhere, which is h7 is the only square it seems like. But then he has this knight. Oh, no, he doesn't because the queen can take then. And he has e6, though. I really don't like e6. I don't think I have a whole lot of choice here. e6 is happening, I think. Which is not good. I don't want him to play e6 here. I would love to have a knight here if possible. This knight can go to c4 to e6, maybe. Oh, well, he takes that possibility away. So now that he allows me this blockade, I will now blockade. By the way, I will do it. But I think that I can just be more aggressive than that and just go for this. Because if he's playing that, he's just giving up a pawn, really. Let's be more aggressive here. Let's go ahead and just blast open this king side now that he's made those kind of moves. We want to be able to quickly punish these g4, h4 type of stuff. So our pieces hopefully will start flowing into the position now. Everything seems to be optimally placed for a kingside attack, and his center is kind of, his central attack is kind of blocked, so now the wing attack makes a lot of sense. Can't do much in the center. If he pushes, I'll take. He'll give this great square for his knights and stuff, but I can always take. And hopefully our attack on the king side will crash through before he can do any of this kind of stuff with e6 and try to take advantage of the e5 square. So yeah, let's just see how our king side attack plays out in this game. I do think I need to plan a better spot for this knight. So I'm thinking maybe rerouting it this way. That knight is very awkwardly placed right now. These two knights are kind of getting in the way of each other, so that's something to keep in mind. But this knight is fine because it can go to g5 and start talking to this knight and attacking h3 and all types of stuff. Excuse me. It's an interesting move. Does it allow any tactics right away? Takes, and the queen h4, knight f3. I think we should just improve this piece. Oh no, we're hanging a pawn here. What am I doing? Maybe queen here? But there's still a knight here. Maybe takes first, queen takes, then queen here? I don't like the idea of giving up a bishop, though. That's my good bishop. That's leading the charge of the attack. So I'm not happy with that. Let's just, I don't know, open some lines here at least, right? Something like that. Do have to watch the time. I'm quite a bit lower than him. But we have the 5-second increment, so it's not the end of the world if I get a little bit behind, but I definitely need to get a strong enough attack going to where he has to spend some time to find the right defensive resources here, and that will hopefully even out the time differences here. I'm just trying to think of how I can get my queen in, and after knight here, maybe like keep the queen on this, I don't know, H file or something like that to maintain the queen near the king. That'll be great. If I can get the queen involved, get this knight involved somehow, I'll have a killer attack at that point. So this queen g5 idea really comes to mind, but he might take with the queen here also, by the way. Oh no, can't. Just kidding. I'll take the knight. So he has to take this way or this way. I'm imagining he'll probably take with this pawn. But then there's queen here. All types of ideas in the position. Ooh. He chooses this route. That's cool. Let's get this guy to a better square, first of all. Let's get this knight to e6. And we slowly play the position for just slow positional advantages instead of trying to go for the checkmate immediately. Let's just continue improving our pieces, putting them on good squares, bringing our pieces in active ways, and yeah, let's see what happens. Now with this move, I did now allow knight f3, which would keep my queen from entering now. But I just feel like my queen didn't really have any good squares on the H file. All these squares look really tough to sit on. So yeah, I don't know. So he wants to exchange off my bishop, my good bishop, which is understandable. It is a strong piece in this position. Don't know if I have much of a choice but to give it up at this point. I think the bishop is going to have to go. But I'll trade it off for his bishop. I'm okay with that. Because I have other pieces that are penetrating into the position now. This bishop could become very powerful. It can get to some good diagonals here. My idea is to get this knight more involved in this game also via moves like this. And so at that point, all of our pieces will hopefully be well placed, and he will just have these kingside structural weaknesses that we can attack. Now with this move, I am threatening this, by the way. I think I can take here and then take here. Just making sure there's no hidden stuff I'm missing here. No one move checkmates or anything like that, hopefully. So that just gets a central pawn, but it's not over yet. There's a lot of play left. Because I did have to give up a really good bishop for the knight, though. So that's the only thing that I'm not super happy about, but there's a lot of weaknesses now in the position. In fact, I think I'm already winning in exchange because he has to move his queen and I have knight c2. So hopefully this will be enough to secure the full point here, this material advantage that we just got from having just a really solid position. I'm sure he'll play e6 very soon here. Ooh, that's an interesting move. What do I do? What do I do? I believe the right idea here should be to fork the pieces. I guess he has some e6 ideas coming very, very soon here. Definitely e6 will be played anytime. I'm just ready for it. I'm going to take this rook, by the way. because I want to force one of the two pieces to become more less active. So he's trying to open up the position even more now, which can be dangerous. Can be dangerous. Queen is coming into the position now. Knight is really trapped in now, that's for sure. That's the unfortunate part of this. My knight is completely locked in. But hopefully queen and bishop together can do some good work here. So I do have this check. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. Now I have this check, which I believe wins another exchange. And e6 will definitely come now, as I expected. What do I do now is the question. Do I play solid and maintain this, give him the strong pawn? Do I take it? I guess I just, let's just take it. I don't know. Let's just be active here. This is one of those positions that we just have to be really, really active. Let's just drive this. Let's just keep taking pawns. I mean, why not, right? Have to watch for this check and this check. He has checkmate threats after bishop moves to h8. Gotta watch for that, which I have rook g6 prepared for that, or f6 even. So just gotta keep all these things in mind. We're up a lot of material, so I'm just hoping that the material hopefully will be enough to bring in the full victory here. So knight g5 is now option. But I even like the idea of just pushing this. Just opening up this diagonal and just threatening to queen on the spot. So I think after bishop h8, f6 should work to trap the bishop in. In fact, f6 here even might work. But he has bishop h6 to get away, though. That's interesting. Let's give him a quick check here. Can we just ignore that rook? I think so. I think so. I don't think we need that rook right now. We have a severe attack here. Risky, risky. I don't know if it's for sure working, but I think that I got something with the queen and knight, because the queen and knight are usually an amazing pair of pieces to lead an attack. That is why I feel I haven't worked out all the details, but I feel like there's got to be something here. There's got to be something solid here with the queen and the knight lined up like that. So he goes for it. Okay, we will try to prove it now. I really hope this works, but I don't know. I could just get checkmated right now. Oh, gosh. Am I getting mated here? Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Oh, gosh. That's awful. I just lost. I just lost. Just like that. Just lost the game. Shouldn't have given up the rook. Should not have. There was no reason at all whatsoever to give up that rook. Goodness. Hmm. That sucks. Now he's starting a checkmate here. Hoping for some miracle. Oh, then, dang it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That ends the game. Man, that's just unfortunate. That is a very, very unfortunate game. This game was just absolutely... yeah. It's just one of those situations where I felt so confident about sacrificing that rook that I thought I just had it. Queen and knight checkmate is coming for sure, but there was absolutely no reason to give up that rook. There was absolutely zero reason to give up that rook. Let's quickly analyze and let's move on. Yeah, like those kind of situations where there's a possibility of a checkmate, unless you concretely see the whole checkmate, I would always caution against, generally speaking, caution against going after sacrificing material. Material means a lot. I had a perfectly winning position. There was absolutely no reason to give up the rook because I didn't calculate this specific win, so it just didn't make any sense at all to go by instinctual feelings there. Just not the right approach. I feel like everything in the game was probably fine. Yeah, it shows one blunder. That blunder was probably giving up the rook, I'd imagine. So e4 here from him. Interesting move, bishop f4, g4, which is a mistake, as I said during the game, that it just opens up his king way too much. So he pushes through with e5. And I just continue to just take a step back. And now really the center is locked and he has all these weaknesses on the king side. So I immediately strike that way. Takes. Oh, f5 is interesting here. Interesting. I didn't really consider that too much. I choose to just open up my knight. I have a long-term static weaknesses here now. Weaknesses everywhere. So there's no need to just hurry and go for a checkmate idea. That's why I just continue to just improve the pieces. So this just runs into, oh, I even had knight g5 there. Interesting. The way I play the position, I think, is also fine. Just taking this and just taking that, being up a bunch of material. He did have interesting move, queen g3 there. But here, I mean, just everything is just falling apart. And yeah, it's just unfortunate that I tried this sacrifice for no good reason. Another exchange there. He tries this, I just take it. He takes. That was another idea, I guess, to get the other rook involved. I didn't even think about doing that. I just continue grabbing pawns, which makes no sense. Why would I grab a 4 there? really a poor decision, honestly, to grab the f4 pawn. I know a computer doesn't mind it, but here I have an entire rook sitting here. That can join the attack. It doesn't. This pawn isn't really, stopping any of my pieces from entering, really, for the most part. So it doesn't make a lot of sense at all to go for that pawn. But I was so confident that the position is completely winning. I just thought, you know what, let's just grab all the material I can and just wait to see what he's going to do here. There's nothing. He's down, a rook and a pawn. 2 pawns. So here is when I decide to give a check. And knight g5 was the way to go. But obviously I didn't see the mate. So if I don't see the checkmate, there's no reason why I should ever play knight g5, a move like knight g5. Any case, I played it. He takes, I take. And I could have just simply taken the bishop back, but I chose to go this way. Here. And literally just lost the game, just like that. He found the best continuation from here to just finish the game. There's just no way to protect my queen. Just like that, game is lost. Anyway, yeah, very, very good game to learn a lesson from, which is basically that if you don't see a continuation all the way to the end, you should never sacrifice material just because you feel like it's going to work. Especially a big sacrifice like giving up an entire exchange in that situation, especially given that there was no way that I could possibly be worse in that position. So it was just completely unnecessary. And yeah, I immediately saw the consequences and the results, which is it just cost me the game immediately. Yep. Hopefully you guys got something out of this game as well. And I'll catch you in my next game and next video.